Welcome to Wednesday.
I thought Dave Bray was going to change that song for us.
Yes, no, not yet.
Not yet?
No.
You're still hanging on to hope.
I am hanging on to hope. But we're not talking politics right now.
No politics. What's going on, man?
We're going to be talking politics later on today, bro. But,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to be rocking the faith here in a little bit.
That's right. We're doing some community service, something that we both agree we do not do enough of.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Now,
go ahead.
Back when I, with radio days with Triv and stuff like that, did a lot of community service.
Sure.
Police and Coach for Kids and the Providence House and stuff like that. But here on this show, we have not really done a whole lot of it. So
Yeah.
I think it's about time today.
Well, I think a big part of it is we're such a new show that a lot of the outlets that are doing things are not aware of us yet. So we have to reach out to them. Like this one here that we're going to do today was 100%. I saw an ad for it. I thought it was cool. I reached out and they reached right back and we're like, yeah, we'd love to do this. So
Cool.
and it's a cool event. I mean, for people that don't know what we're talking about, since we're rambling about something we haven't even introduced yet,
Right.
I'll put it on the screen. There's an organization in Cleveland called Stella Maris, and they're like the preeminent place for helping people with addiction and providing addiction treatment services.
Yes.
And they are doing a rock event to raise money for Stella Maris on Sunday the 9th. I think Sunday's the 9th. Sunday the 9th at 6:30. And it's an evening of rock music and fun and, a good time out.
At the Music Box.
At the Music Box Supper Club over there on the west bank of the Flats.
Yes.
And yeah, it's a great night to just go out and rock out a little bit, and all the money goes toward helping local Cleveland people that are dealing with addiction problems and giving them addiction treatment. Which, look, if you even glance at the news, this is a huge problem, and especially a huge problem here in town.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking. We already told them about the event now, so cancel the guest.
Yeah, you're out of here. No,
I think this will be cool. It'll be cool to talk to.
It will be, and we're going to be talking to Carole Negus, who's she's one of the singers in the main band, as well as I believe it's her baby. She works at Stella Maris, and I believe this is her baby. This event, so.
Cool.
Wanted to bring if I could talk today, it'd be great. Wanted to bring some awareness to this event because really nobody else is talking about it that I've seen. Have you?
No, first I heard of it was the other day when we talked about doing it. So this is good. I'm excited about this. So
Yeah. Should be really good. Should be good. So she'll be on here in a little while.
And we got Tony Musachio going to be joining us from somewhere.
I like that. That's now the tagline. We can never say, well, Tony's going to be at Tulum or what. Now it's like Tony's going to be wherever his car stops near a golf course
Or a restaurant. Whatever happens.
He's either going to be near a golf course or near a restaurant every day until probably October.
So we'll take it, though. I'm happy that he's going to be joining us.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, today is Wednesday, so that means bonus content, 5:30 to 6.
Yes.
On Minds, MINDS.com. So you can sign up there and watch the extra content. Pay a little bit, $5.
$5 whopping dollars.
I prefer you pay 50 so we can actually have somebody to split.
Yeah, well, that would be nice, but but is what it is. Look, I'm just happy doing the show. I mean, I'd love to get paid too, but I just like doing it. It's just fun.
Too. But here's the deal. If somebody buys something from like the merchandise store or does the minds.com kind of thing and spends just a little bit of money, then I would have money to go buy something off the merchandise store. And right now, I'm not even subscribed to the Minds.
Right.
I asked for the password like 2 weeks ago, and I haven't gotten it. So I can't even log in to our own show.
Oh, for Minds?
Yeah.
I sent it to you.
No, you sent it to me like a month ago, and then now I don't have it.
No, I sent it again like recently.
I don't remember.
Because I remember specifically I typed out a thing like, I know this is going to make you crazy yet again.
Yeah, I think I had missed it. I yet to have an account for our own show. So.
What do we need that for?
Yeah, whatever. So yesterday was interesting.
Yeah, I heard you were almost dead or something, no?
Not almost dead, man. So I just haven't been feeling all that great, but it really wasn't even that. I had to go to like look. I haven't been to the doctor like a year, and with all the issues that I have with the leg and all that kind of stuff, it's diabetes and whatever you want to call it, all that kind of stuff. I got to go to the doctor, and I should be going more than once a freaking year.
Right.
And so I had an appointment yesterday, make sure the other leg's not falling off, and that kind of thing. Which is interesting in itself because I posted a picture of me in the hospital,
right,
at the doctor's office, and they said, hoping the other leg doesn't fall off and all that. And I got a ton of reaction and a ton of thoughts and prayers and all that kind of stuff. And I really want to thank everybody for all that, because that was very nice to get all that support. Very cool. But so I decided yesterday I may be leaning left.
Now that cannot be right.
Well, at least on something.
Okay.
And so I may get some slack from a lot of the Republican people out there, and I apologize for saying what I'm about to say, but I have to say it.
I cannot wait to hear this.
So I'm in the office, and my daughter was in a room with me, so there's nothing, she can vouch for everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is legit. I'm not going to mention names or where I was or anything like that, but this is a legit story.
Okay.
So my doctor says, I'm going to stop your diabetes medication immediately.
Okay.
I said, okay. Well, people are talking to each other. What's up, everyone? So I said, well, why are you going to stop the diabetes medication? Isn't that kind of important? Right?
Mm-hmm.
The doctor's response to me was, well, that pill doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. I said, well, if it doesn't do anything and it doesn't work, then why was I on it?
Right.
For years now.
Okay.
Well, when you came into the hospital for your leg and everything, you had no insurance.
Oh, boy.
So they just gave you whatever on your way out the door. And now that you have insurance, though, it's like, well, this new stuff that I'm giving you will really work. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, what the
what did I waste 2 years for?
Made me take medication for 2 years.
Right.
That didn't work.
And they knew didn't work.
They knew it didn't work, apparently, but I didn't know it didn't work. I was taking it every day religiously, thinking that this is something I was supposed to take.
Right.
And I was told yesterday that, no, sorry. Because of your lack of insurance, or your whatever poor person's insurance that I was on, because I didn't have any at the time when I went into the hospital, they gave me something that is less than adequate, at least.
Okay.
And now, thank God, I'm going to be on something good that can help me. But for 2 years, if I died, they could give a... I'm trying to not swear because we're having a good guest coming on.
Give a darn?
Yeah, they could give a darn if I died or not. Apparently, it was this pill that I was taking for the past 2 years. But now we're good. Now we got you something better. Let me check and make sure this is covered under insurance. Okay, that one is covered under your new insurance. That will be prescribed to you. You can pick that up tomorrow.
Right.
So I started thinking that, I have a family member who's going under some treatment for cancer and stuff like that. And
okay.
Praying for the recovery there. But the pills alone are something like $80,000-$90,000 a year or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I just started thinking about the fact that, look, I know that there's such a thing as population control. I know they have these cures for stuff that they're just not letting you have because we can do all the. We have a phone that's a computer now, but we can't figure out what can cure cancer. But this healthcare system here in this country is messed up.
It's a disaster. Yeah.
These pills are not anywhere near what they're charging you here in this country. The corporations Yes, thank you. The companies here. I mean, just look back at this vaccine. Look
Mm-hmm.
at the billions that these companies made off of these vaccines that didn't do a damn thing to stop the transmission of the disease, to prevent you from getting anything. It didn't do anything. It was a shot that they forced you to take out of fear, and it
Yeah.
didn't cure or help with anything. And these companies made millions or billions of dollars off of this stuff.
Right. Dude, it's all a scam. You do.
So
I mean,
the
uh,
healthcare system here is just it is.
it's a mess. Well,
Bullshit.
here I'll tell you. I'm going through, not directly, but I'm going through a health thing myself. With a relative that I have right now. I have a relative. This relative is fighting through mental health stuff. Potential autism, maybe bipolar, bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Trying to works part-time because that's about all this person can do. They can't do 40, they can't hold a job because their brain's a little scrambled. And and they're trying to get help. So they have to get a diagnosis to get help. They have to make an appointment with a shrink. Don't have insurance because they work part-time.
Right.
Shrink charges $600 for an appointment. First appointment, $600. $600. This is a person that is not working. And they don't give the diagnosis where then my relative could go to, get on disability or any of that kind of stuff. They don't offer that at all. Instead, they simply say, well, here's some meds to try. Come back in a month for another $600.
Right.
And we'll see if maybe we can give you a diagnosis.
I mean, we're going to have to obviously get back to this conversation.
Yeah.
Is on here, but just real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to go downstairs after I was done with my checkup to get my medicine that was prescribed, one of which I've been taking again for 2 years.
Sure.
This one supposedly works, but again, we'll get back to this a little bit. But with my new insurance, for not even, it's like a month supply. They wanted $357 for one prescription.
Yeah.
Now I lost a leg, man. So I take
Right.
like 9 prescriptions a day.
Wow.
And this one, they wanted $357 for. I said, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I got it down to $10, so I'll tell you how we did that. We have our guest,
which is that's just crazy. It was $350, but we'll get it to you for $10.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I did that. After
all right.
Jeez.
All right. Well, let's change directions here. Like we were saying at the beginning of the show, great benefit happening over at the Music Box this Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Rock of Faith, a transformation of the soul, a journey from addiction to recovery, told through music. It's done for the Stella Maris Foundation, and let's bring on our guest, Carole Negus. Seth? Yes. Seth?
Hello, welcome to the show. How are you, Carole?
I'm great. How are you?
We are fantastic. Now that we've told all the details of the event, it was great talking to you. Have a great night. See you later. No. Well, thanks for coming on to talk about everything tonight.
Okay, well, what would you like to know?
Well, why don't we start with a little background on Stella Maris for people that don't know. Give them an idea what you do so that we can tell them how the benefit will help.
So I'm the director of nursing at Stella Maris. I've been here for actually since 2013.
Okay.
And this is a benefit for Stella Maris. For those of you that don't know what Stella Maris is, it's basically the oldest alcohol and drug rehab, we think, in the United States. Wow. Been around for 75 years. We opened our doors in 1948 with the help of priest from St. Malachi's Church and some members of Alcoholics Anonymous, and started out basically as just a sober house for men, and have now turned into a place where we have literally 70 people living on our campus at all times. I call it the Campus of Hope. The Rock of Faith is something that I started based on my own recovery story, and I started it out of First Baptist Church in Cleveland Heights. It was a production I started 14 years ago, telling my story, and I used the proceeds to benefit other recovery sober housing networks in the Cleveland area. That's how it started.
Okay.
And the reason I continue it is because it's really important for the stigma of addiction, for people to have an understanding of the fact that alcoholics and drug addicts were just really normal, regular people that have a disease. And if we have the willingness to come to a place like Stella Maris or some of the other places in the Cleveland area and try to get sober, we can achieve great things in sobriety, and we can become great people and do great things. So it's my opportunity to give back to the community. And I am getting close to retiring, so I decided to move the Rock of Faith to Stella Maris, where I have worked for so long, and leave it here for them to take on after I leave. So that's what's going on.
So if somebody has an addiction problem, can they just go there and check in, or how does that work?
So we have walk-in hours pretty much all day long from like 8:30 to 2:30, and it is a central intake. So that means that if you walk through the door, we will figure out what you need and we will make sure you get it.
Okay. Carole, explain to me what is going on out there today. Is it hard drugs? Is it fentanyl? Is it alcohol? Is it more and more of all of the same? What is it that is rising and becoming the preeminent problem?
You know, we have a lot of really scary things going on out in at least the Cleveland area for sure. I just came back from the opiate conference in Columbus and talked with a bunch of different providers in all different counties in the state of Ohio. And it's a lot of the same thing, but the big message really out there is that there are no safe drugs on the street, and that everything is cut with everything. And that's what we're seeing, is that the fentanyl is cut with crystal methamphetamine, the crystal methamphetamine is cut with fentanyl, the cocaine is cut with methamphetamine or with fentanyl. And the clients come in the door, the first thing that happens is they get a drug screen. And many times they are like, what are you talking about? I don't do that. I only do this. And they're really, really, really stunned. So that is the message that I try to get out there as much as I can, which is that you need to test your drugs. There are no safe drugs on the street. Really, the best thing is abstinence altogether. But if you can't do that, please test your drugs. Use fentanyl strips. They're being handed out all over the place. We hand them out. And then also, another thing that we're seeing is a huge rise in alcoholism in the COVID really shut down the alcoholics coming into treatment. And now we're seeing this influx of people that have relapsed during COVID, and they're all coming back. But another thing that's really strange is the combination of alcoholic and opiate addict. And we've seen a huge rise in that. And I say 10%, but that's significant.
Yeah.
Because if you know anything about heroin users, they don't use alcohol.
Right.
Alcoholics don't use heroin. So the fact that we're seeing the people coming in using both is really scary. So, and the last thing I'll say is that crystal methamphetamine, I think, is on the rise in Cleveland in a big, bad way.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Why do you think that is, Stella? Because and correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm not a user, obviously, but or maybe not obviously. There's enough information, at least in my head, that says if you do crystal meth, you are gonna die. I mean, there's so much information out there, and there's so many videos of people just rotting away, literally rotting away. There's so much proof of it. What leads people to it still?
One of the things is that there's this little underground network that goes on. And one of the messages out there is that if you can't get your fentanyl or your dope so to speak, and you know that you're going to get sick, if you get crystal meth, which is very readily available and much cheaper, okay, it'll keep you from going into opiate withdrawal. That's what the message is on the street.
Okay.
Is it an accurate message? No, not really. Also, the profit margin for crystal methamphetamine is much higher than it is for fentanyl. And so the dealers give free samples and things like that on the street. And that's another reason why they're cutting the drugs with crystal methamphetamine, because they're trying to get people hooked. I mean, we've got some dealers out there with business plans.
Right.
Good.
Do you think? Go ahead, Seth.
The problem that I think that we have is that you need to start treating it just an addiction problem altogether, because it's not just drugs. I mean, people are just addicted to everything. People are addicted to food. People are addicted to their phones. People are addicted to whatever you put in front of them for whatever reason. So drugs just happen to be part of it. But I think that, what's the treatment like when you go into a place like this?
So we are one of the only places that has every level of care. So you could actually be here for quite some time. But you start off with detox, which is 7 to 10 days, and that varies depending on the drugs that you're using and what your withdrawal process is. Because today we basically are looking at things very individually. And everybody is different. Somebody might need 10 days for detox. Somebody else might need 4 or 5. So it depends on how sick you are. That's the first thing. And then you can step down into a partial hospitalization program, which is 5 days a week, all day. Or you could step into our men's residential program. We have the benefit of having a lot of housing on our campus because we have a 46-bed men's supportive housing. And those men live and go to treatment while they're here. So a person can go to detox, then to the men's residential, and then to the dorm and end up being here for probably close to 6 months. I think the best treatment for addiction and recovery is time, because you need time for the brain to heal, and you need constant reinforcement, and you need structure, and you need people around you that are supporting what you're trying to do. For the women, we also have 18 women's beds, but we don't have a women's residential program yet. We just are in the process of renovating the old Matt Talbot building in Tremont, and that will be a 35-bed all-gender residential program. So in the next 12 months, that will be opening up as well. So what works for Stella Maris and what we believe is the fact that we create our own community here.
Okay.
And it's a community of recovery. The dorms, the men and women's dorms, work what's called a therapeutic community, which means that they are self-governing. They elect their own officers, and they have jobs on the campus. They take care of the campus. It's their campus. They work in the kitchen. They do those things. And, if you're a guy that comes along and you're not pulling your weight, then you're going to get what's called you're going to have an encounter with the community, and the community may give you what's called an LE, which is a learning experience. And that could be an essay on why it's important to be on time and accountable, or it could be extra chores, whichever. But they all hold each other accountable by doing things, by giving push-ups or pull-ups. And the staff does the same thing as well. And we all work together as a community to help each other get sober, stay sober.
Sure.
So it's a pretty cool place. There's no place really like it. If you want to come and just walk across our campus and visit, we'd love to have you, because people feel the vibe as soon as they're here.
Okay, excellent.
Where's it located?
It is basically right on the west bank of the Flats, right up the street from the aquarium. Okay. And you'll see our blue awnings as you're coming down East Washington Street. Just let us know you're coming. We'd love to take you for a tour. You'll see the clients and the staff eating lunch together out at the picnic tables in the summertime. It's really a great place.
Sure. Now, Carole, let me ask you this. We've all heard the saying of, you got to admit to having a problem before you can treat having a problem, or some semblance of that statement. Do you find that that is one of the hardest things to get people to come to you and work on? Because anybody I've ever known, including myself, I used to drink like a fish. I'll admit it, and I've found my own way to clean up. But when I was doing that, there was always a reason. It wasn't that I was addicted to alcohol. It was, I don't have enough money. My marriage is going to hell. My bills aren't paid. There was always a reason. Do you find that stops people from coming and getting the help they truly need from a place like Stella Maris?
That's really the disease of addiction that you just described, which is that denial that happens. And it's amazing to me how one day I could be in total denial, and then the very next day it was clear as day to me what was going on. And I really do believe that when the pain gets bad enough, that's when somebody is willing to make a change. And that's what drives recovery. I like to allow somebody that comes in here, stays for 2 days, leaves, and then wants to come back 2 days later. I let them come back. Okay. Because that might be what we call the window of opportunity for that person, and it might be just what propels them. And maybe then they're going to start to see it. If I had a magic pill that I could give people so that they could have that moment of clarity, I would do it in a heartbeat. But there is no rhyme or reason to it. Right, because what you described is exactly what goes on. It's excuse after excuse after excuse why you can't do it. And then all of a sudden you're willing to do it. So I guess we can give them knowledge. We can give them example. We can show them what good sobriety looks like and hope that they'll want what we have.
Right.
That's what I was going to ask too. Is that how difficult is it to keep people in the program? I mean, are people coming and going on a constant basis?
Well, the detox facility has about a 68% completion rate, which means that they complete. And of those 68% that complete, about 85% of them go on to the next level of care, that is remarkably high. We have about a 65 to 70% completion rate in our IOP and supportive housing programs. It might even be higher than that. It might be more like 72. But everyone that goes through all of our programming, they all leave with a place to live and a job, because that's what we do. That's what some of the things that we work on while they're here is getting them back out into the community. Many of the people that come here are homeless when they get to the front door, because Stella Maris tends to be the last stop.
Okay. Certainly.
For a lot of people. And we've always served the underserved. That's what we do here. That's been our reputation forever. It's still our reputation today. So if you walk through the door, you don't have insurance, you don't have a shirt on the back, we're going to figure it out.
That's excellent. Well, Carole, let's transition to, we've talked about addiction. Let's talk about how our viewers and listeners can help this weekend. Tell us about the Rock of Faith concert. Tell us what they can expect and what time they should get there, and what will be going on.
Okay, so the Rock of Faith concert, the doors open at 4:30. You can come and grab a bite to eat because the Music Box has a great menu. Yeah. So you can grab a bite to eat, and then the concert starts at 6:30. We will have a mocktail bar because this is a sober event with a lot of sober people attending the event. And many of those people are clients that are in treatment now, or volunteers that have helped along Stella Maris. There will be a little bit of an auction going on, but basically what we do is we tell the story of addiction. We use rock music to do it, and I tell somebody's story. So I will be narrating the story for you, and we put music to it. What you can do is show up, fill the room up, clap for us. And there's about 7 people that are either alumni of Stella Maris or in recovery right now performing with my band. So it's
great.
It's pretty cool. That was the best thing I did, bringing this event to Stella Maris and including the clients.
Yeah, that's
Now, how old is the event? How many years have you done it?
14 years.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's really great. Well, tell us one more time all about the event, the date, where, all that stuff, so that people are very well aware where they should be on Sunday.
It is June 9th at the Music Box Supper Club, which is right down in the Flats, right down there by Shooters and Improv over there. The doors open at 4:30. Concert starts at 6:30. And really, I promise you'll be out of there by 8:30. So you'll still be able to go home or, enjoy a little bit of the day. So,
just don't go hit the bars, right?
we really hope to see you.
That's awesome. Thank you for coming on tonight. We appreciate it. It's a great cause, and it sounds really cool. So,
all right. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks, Carole.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. There goes Carole. Carole Negus. Yeah, it's Stella Maris. One more time. I'll give that plug out one more time. It's at the Music Box Supper Club on Sunday, June the 9th. Doors at 4:30. Showtime is 6:30. You'll be home at 8:30 from what Carole says. So it's a good cause. I don't know how many people you know that are fighting the battle with drugs right now, but I am running into surprisingly people that surprise me that are using now. Have you found that in your life?
I know quite a few, but here's something that I struggle with. She got on, and I didn't want to give my opinion sometimes when
I
don't want
sure it's her event. Yeah,
I think what they're doing is really great, and
I do too.
Encourage everybody to go down and support this cause because I think what they do is cool. Now here's where I struggle with stuff.
Okay.
All right, I've done stuff in my life, and I'm not afraid to admit what I've done, whether it was drinking, smoking, or drugs at times when I was a lot younger. Right, and you know what I did?
I stopped.
And I didn't need to go. I didn't need to call it a disease. I didn't need to go get a support group, and I needed to sit there and go, all right, you fucking dumbass, what are you doing with your life that you keep doing the same old stupid shit? It's not getting you anywhere. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your life. Stop doing this, you dumbass. And you know what I did? I stopped doing it.
But and again, I'm sure Carole would have told you this. It's the layers of addiction. When I explained it to her, or in that conversation right there about people making excuses to keep using, you didn't do that. You didn't exercise one of the core reasons that addictive people, dude. We're addictive in our own way. Neither one of us has said no to a cookie.
Well, that's what I think that the problem is bigger sometimes than just drugs. I think it's just.
Well, I agree with that.
Addiction trait that people have. I mean, I know people that are addicted to their fucking phones.
Oh yeah,
you can't put the damn things down to save their lives. I know people that are addicted to food. God knows that I've been one of them throughout my entire life.
Tony Musachio.
Yeah. People are addicted to smoking cigarettes. Can't stop smoking cigarettes. I mean, I had that. I was a 2-pack-a-day smoker.
Sure.
And you know what? I got sick. This happened to me. I guess it gave me a good reason to say, you know what? I am done. And I just stopped doing it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, everybody is somewhat different, and that's the one thing that I think gets lost in the discussion of addiction. That's funny. But I do think that gets lost in the discussion of addiction, is that everybody is different. Look, I'll tell a story I've never even told on CMS or anywhere. I went to rehab for booze when I was in the military. I was in Arizona. We had a party. I got extremely fucked up. Well, let me backtrack before that. I got a DWI. I got a call from a friend, asked me to come and get him. I go get him. I'd had a couple of beers. I get popped. I blew a .082 and a .08 state. Got DWI. They found fake IDs and shit in my pocket because I was under 21. Military gave me a choice. Go to rehab or get kicked out of the Army. That was my choice. I said, I'll go to rehab. Next day, we had a party to celebrate the fact that I didn't get kicked out of the Army. And all I had to do was stay sober. And what did we do? We drank our faces off. Yeah. So much that the next day we showed up. I was hammered. They pulled me out of formation because I smelled like booze and busted me out and were ready to kick me out of the military. This all happened. I knew I was in trouble, and I did it anyway. At that point in my life, I was addicted. I couldn't stop. Later in life, I developed it in a different way, and maybe for me, a lot of it was getting blown up. And once that happened, I kind of reprioritized things. You know, maybe for you, quitting smoking and everything was reprioritizing things.
I mean, it could be.
It could be as much as just reprioritizing what am I spending $200 a week on?
Right.
For smokes.
I mean, again, when I was in the hospital and I got out of the coma and all that kind of stuff, I was shaking like a leaf, man. I mean, I couldn't hold a spoon without flying across the room because, you know, I hadn't had a cigarette in weeks and or anything. I was obviously coming off of something.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not a hard drug user. I used a lot of stuff when I was a dumb 20-year-old.
What's the hardest thing you use? Coke?
Yeah, I would say that. And then, you know, I mean, I did a lot of different things.
Because I shot heroin twice.
I didn't try that.
And thank God, thank Christ, both times it made me so sick that I was like throwing up sick. Because if I would have enjoyed it, I would have kept using it. I'd be dead now. There's no doubt in my mind. I'd be dead now.
I just, you know, again, for me, I sit back sometimes. I know maybe there are people out there that it is a disease for them, and it's very difficult to. I don't mean to diminish anybody's experience with their
of course not.
or anything like that. But I know people that drink and drink and drink and drink.
Of course.
And then they say, I struggle with it every day. You know, day number 33, day number 6 months sober, and all this kind of. I'm like, well, I don't even think about it. I don't drink or I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I don't do the stuff but I don't even think about it. I'm not counting the days. I just say, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm done. And
dude, it's this. I'll give you an exact scenario, and then and maybe it'll make you see it.
I drink a lot.
Sure.
But now I don't even think about having a beer.
Because you don't do it anymore. So now you're past it.
I know now that I could go into a bar and drink some beers.
Yeah.
And not think about it the next morning too.
Sure.
I don't feel like that anymore. I don't want that stuff in my life. I don't want cigarettes in my life. I don't want anything I've done in my life. Sorry.
And I agree with you. The more you think about it, the harder it becomes. That is a truism. Think about this. Is 10 minutes a long period of time?
No.
Could me and you do 10 minutes without even blinking, talking?
Yes, of course.
If I told you to go stand somewhere for 10 minutes,
it would feel like it forever.
It would feel like 7 years.
Yeah.
Same 10 minutes. Same exact 10 minutes would seem like an endless amount of time. That is what goes on with the alcoholic mindset. You put it down. You know that if you drink again, you're going to be a disaster. And what do? You sit there and think about it. I just got to get through another hour. I got to get, and the heart. I'm probably not the best thing to say on this show today, but I'm not a firm believer in the whole Alcoholics Anonymous thing because I think it puts too much pressure on people to think minute to minute.
Yes.
And I think that's a big problem because now all of a sudden you're putting the thought of a drink in people's heads every minute. Dude, I haven't had a drink. Last time I had more than 2 beers was January. And I mean, that's or other than at Pinball PA this last weekend when I was at Pinball PA, I had 6, which was an ungodly amount for me these days. But before that, it had been January. So that's like 5 months. And I'm by no means am I saying I'm not going to drink anymore, or I'm not going to throw down, or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that. But I don't think, like you, I don't think about it day to day. I'm not sitting there going, man, my fridge doesn't have any beer in it. I got to go get some. I got to get some now.
No. I mean, I don't know. Again, it's just something that it's not even on the tip of my mind. But I know people that have been to AA, and I know that they are still. I mean, some people I know are 20 years, 30 years sober.
Sure,
and they're still counting the day like it's like it was yesterday. And I sit there and I say, okay, well, why? It's been 30 years, dude. You haven't had a drink.
No, because some of them
don't
know that
think about it anymore.
Well, and I agree. They put too much pressure on themselves. They're just waiting for the fuck up.
Well, that's my problem. What are you waiting for? Why are you even thinking about this? Move on from your past. People make mistakes in life. Dude.
Sure.
I've made tons of mistakes.
Sure.
I can't. If I relive them and think about them every day, I'm going to go crazy.
No,
so
I don't. Yeah, I'm with you.
I moved on from the stupid shit that I've done when I was younger. Now I have a family, I have a wife, I have a great kid, and I'm moving on with my life. And I'm putting the bad stuff that I did behind me. And I still hear these people every day. Oh, it's a struggle every day. 30 years sober. 30 years and 3 days.
But you can't poo-poo them for their struggles, their own business. Just like there's things you struggle with every day.
Of course. Look,
and
I'm not poo-pooing their thing. I guess. But I try not to do that. I try not to dwell on my struggles every single day. My stupid leg. I don't. Look, I don't have a leg. Either does this guy. And so what? So I'm not the only one out there without a leg.
Yeah,
and
dude.
So to sit here and bitch and moan about it all the time, what is that going to do me? So quit bitching that you drank 30 years ago.
That's
my problem. So I'm sick and tired of calling it a disease. It's a choice you made to start drinking. It's a choice you made to stop drinking. It's your choice.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree with all that.
Fucking picked up a bottle and said, "Drink it, or I'm going to fucking shoot you."
No, but
it's a choice to pick it up.
Once you've done it, you condition your brain to where your brain works that way.
I don't know that that's true or not.
Well, it's true with some people. It's not true with all people. The thing, and this is where with chemical dependence is individual, because dude, you got to look at all the factors. You can't just say, well, it's just booze. You can't just say it's just booze, because you got to look at the other pieces of the puzzle too. You got to look at, I would imagine that today's youth that were not raised with as hardcore right and wrong as we were have a harder time struggling with chemical dependency. They've been brought up to think that it's no big deal. And they haven't been raised. Dude, what would your dad have done if he found a joint in your bedroom? He'd have knocked your shit out of you.
Oh, yeah.
Today's parent will say, well, let's smoke it together.
Okay.
I mean, there's a big difference.
But, Chris, I know that you and I are both bigger guys.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is telling me that I have to pick up that extra piece of pizza and eat it.
No, not at all.
You can have the ability to say, no, I'm going to put the fuck down.
But do you?
Okay, so what? That's my fucking choice. I know that I'm fat. I know that I need to lose weight. It's my choice when I pick up an extra chicken tender instead of putting it back in.
Okay,
in a
but
box.
Well, hold on. Stop right there.
I have that choice.
Stop right there, though. But the fact that me and you both continually make the wrong choice, knowing the right choice, is that not the addiction?
I don't consider...
You think it's just saying fuck you to yourself.
Absolutely, I think it is. I don't see any... I don't sit there and go, you know what? I have a disease that is making me pick up this chicken tender.
I'm not saying to take it that far.
Because it's a disease. I should probably go see a doctor because of my eating disorder of picking up this fucking chicken tender. No, it's a choice that I make, and I know that it's probably not the best choice for me. So fucking stop doing it.
Well, okay.
The consequences of stopping of not.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to tell you why. Let's use the same exact example, but that chicken finger is now laced with arsenic that will kill you. Will you eat it?
No.
Why?
Okay, but it goes the same way. I know that it takes longer for me to die from doing it this way.
Yeah, which means that your brain doesn't your brain isn't processing it as wrong.
Okay, we're not stupid, Chris.
I understand that.
You own 4 busises. You know a lot of shit about shit that I couldn't even spell. You know, shit. It's crazy when it comes to computers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, your son, I watched him fix a fucking pinball machine the other day. I couldn't do that shit. But I'm smart in other ways. I know how to fucking adjust a satellite in space from a fucking radio station.
Right.
But I know consequences of my actions. The fact that I continue to do it is not a disease. It's me being a dumbass. Well, it is, in my opinion. And
that's fine.
Bottle, it's your fucking choice to pick up the bottle. Put it down. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen. You know what? I know what's going to happen. I lost a leg, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Knew that. I would think I didn't know that eventually I was going to lose a leg by doing the things that I was doing. It happens. Unfortunately, it's sped up by the fact that I stepped on a rusty nail. But these things are going to happen to you if you continue doing the things you do. And if you don't know that, I don't know what planet you're on. It's not a disease.
Well, you do know that.
But to make you stop eating. There's no magic pill to make you stop drinking.
Dude, it's the exact point that I made to her about, like with the fentanyl. There's no shortage of information that if you're doing crystal meth or whatever, you're going to die. You're absolutely going to die. You're absolutely going to rot away. Your teeth are going to rot out. You're going to die. And yet we got more people doing meth and fentanyl than anything right now. Why? They know the consequence. They do it anyway. And the consequence is dire. You have to at least acknowledge that that's a little more than decision. That there's a mental illness being willing to do something that will kill you and has proven to kill everybody else in its history.
I'm not sure that it's a mental illness.
You don't think that's a mental deficiency, we'll say. Maybe not an illness, but a deficiency.
Deficiency, if that's what you want to call it. But I think people are just addicted to things naturally. I think that's part of being a human being, is that we get addicted to things that we like. And so you have the ability to stop doing that if that's what you want to stop doing. In my opinion, again, I mean, like we talked about, people are addicted to phones. Put the fucking phone down.
Yeah.
That's tough. I mean, but I think people are naturally addicted to things that they enjoy, the things that make them feel good. People are addicted to sex. People are addicted to all kind of different things. Mm-hmm. So if you know the consequences of it, then it's on you to make that decision. I don't think what do you need a support group? You need to figure out within your own head, all right, enough. When
the support group might help you figure it out.
And when you hit that point in your life where you're saying, all right, why am I being so stupid? Then that's when you got to make a decision for yourself. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. What do you think out there? Somebody give me a fucking in the show or something.
Yeah, I'm game to take on any points. Oop, I pushed it. You pushed it. There we go. Bob's hitting that one. Kind of what I was saying is, there's so much information about meth out there, but people aren't using the info. But the question is why? There's no shortage of information that cookies are bad for you. There's no shortage of information that eating fucking Mars bars is gonna make you have diabetes. And yet we're happily running through sheets, grabbing 3 of them on the way out.
Look, I've cut back a lot on what I used to do.
Sure,
it's tough to stop. It's very tough to stop. I'm not diminishing that either. I know it's tough to stop drinking, smoking.
Yeah.
Look, smoking was one of the toughest things I ever had to quit doing. I still there are days where I see other people smoke and I want to light one up. But I know in my head that it's not the right thing for me and I need to stop doing it. I used to be the guy that every single day after dinner I would have to have like a king size candy bar or something. Mm-hmm. Because it was my routine to have my dessert after I have my meal and all that kind of stuff. And I've stopped doing that. Instead, I've replaced it with sugar-free popsicles.
Sure.
And so,
but you're still thinking about it.
But no, it came to the point where I know that I had to make that decision of what's more important to me. And so I'm the one that picked up those candy bars to begin with. Nobody forced them on me.
Right.
And now it was my decision now to stop doing that. I could have gotten out of the hospital and gone back to everything I was doing before.
Sure.
Easily. Well, you think that a month in the hospital all of a sudden maybe go, I'm not addicted to anything anymore. I'm good. No, I still wanted the stuff, but I made the choice not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a nurse when I was in the hospital getting my leg chopped off who said, hey, if you want to wheel yourself out to have a cigarette, that's fine. Just don't let me see you do it. And I was like, all right, that's permission for me to go outside and smoke. I'll call one of my friends. I'm going to have him bring me a pack of cigarettes. And I was like, look, you dumbass. You know smoking is bad for you. You know it's going to raise this. Or do this to you. Fucking stop doing it.
Sure. I just don't know that everybody. I just don't know that everybody has the strength or the training or the brain power. Like, do you have? Well, hold on.
I'm not somebody special. I'm not like a.
Hold on. Well, but you were raised in a way, and I know this just from talking to your dad. You were raised in a way that if you were doing something wrong and they found out, you were gonna hear about it. There was no pacifying you when you were blatantly doing shit wrong. True or not true?
I would say fairly true. Okay.
Now, do you have any friends, or does Molly have any friends whose parents are their friend more than raising them?
Of course.
Like where you look at how they parent their kid versus how you raise your kid, you're like, that kid's going to be fucked up in life.
Yes.
You have those people. Okay, fair enough. If Molly was put this situation in front of her, here's some crystal meth. Just do a little. Just do a little. You'll love it. It feels good. Will she do it in your estimation?
I hope not, but I would say probably not.
Okay.
We raised her. So.
There's your answer. Because you built that in for the last 17 years. The parent that doesn't build that in for 17 years, that kid doesn't have that strength. Do you think that same kid that's buddies with their parent and never gets told no and has a new iPhone every 6 months because they're coddled, do you think that kid has the strength to make a personal decision based on what's best for them? They're not taught the way we were. And I'm not trying to say you're wrong on you toughed through it. I'm not saying that. Because Lord knows I've toughed through a lot of shit too. And Lord knows we were both raised the same way. As far as we were both taught, if you fuck up, wake up. There was no, well, it's okay because everybody's doing it and, you want to fit in. And we weren't raised that way. This new generation has been raised that way. They're raised that they can do whatever they want. They're raised that they should be out swinging their dicks in town square with pride flags. They're not taught how to be tough.
But I'm not just talking about the new generation. I'm talking about, I know people that are in their 50s and close to 60 that still are counting the days since the last time they drank 30 years ago. And I know people that I see people that are in the public eye on Facebook and other things that have the same kind of issues that are still counting down days and they want to make it public about, I haven't had a drink in 6 months or whatever it is. And I don't understand the need to do that. I don't understand the need to express it. I don't understand the need to constantly harp on it on a day-to-day basis. It's a personal thing. And just move past your problems.
Dude, of course. I agree with you. Unfortunately, social media, for a lot of people, is the only place where they get the attaboy pat on the back, which they desperately, desperately need. Social media is, I would bet you, and we should have asked Carole this, I would bet you 95% of the people that check into Stella Maris have at least 2 social media accounts.
Probably.
Social media is cancer.
Social media is also an addiction.
And it's the ultimate addiction, and it's the ultimate cause of every problem, because people, what do people do on social media? And this drives you the most nuts. How many times you see a friend of yours that you know is fighting with their wife and ready to get divorced, and they put on social media, my wife is the most special person ever. She is flowers and candy.
Yes.
And you just want to say, what the fuck are you doing?
Dude,
Be honest.
I got a couple of friends that, man, holy shit. You know something's wrong in a marriage because every other day it's, oh, honey, I love you so much. I love you. The greatest thing ever. Oh, God, can't wait to see you.
Yeah.
I just know there's something so wrong going on.
Of course, there's always something. Dude, I call it Facebook living because it's never real. Anybody that posts about their personal life more than once a week on Facebook is desperate for attention.
Well, look, I'm desperate for attention. I posted a picture of me in a fucking hospital yesterday.
But you have a show. There's a difference.
It wasn't even a cry for like likes or anything like that. I was just saying at the hospital, I don't like being there. But and I post pictures of me and my daughter all the time when we go out, stuff like that. But
about once a week.
Social media is about once a week. But
that's what I'm saying.
Attention. But yeah, some people use it too much.
Oh, they use it way too much, and they only post. They're trying to present an image that is not real.
Oh yeah, well,
which is.
I have a couple of friends who definitely post the real stuff. They fight every fucking day on Facebook and are hating each other. And then the next post is, "Oh, everything's fine. I love you."
Yeah. Now that we're past that bump in the road, stop it. But yeah, dude, I honestly think social media, that cry for attention, it does lead to addiction, because when they're not getting that attention, they go somewhere else to feel good.
The worst Facebook people, the people that I hate the most on Facebook, if you're one of them, I apologize listening. Prayers, please.
Oh, yeah, enough.
And that's all they say. What the fuck am I praying for? Like, tell me what's going on. Don't be like this Facebook vaguer, dude. Yeah. I don't want to hear, like, prayers, please.
That's second worst. I'll tell you worst.
If you want me to pray for you, you're going to goddamn tell me why I'm praying for you.
Right. I'll tell you what's worse than that.
Otherwise, you ain't getting shit from me.
What's worse than that is when they post out there, I know I've got 6 friends that feel the way I do and aren't afraid to repost this.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself. So now you're controlling my Facebook page? Go fuck yourself.
I'm certainly not copying and pasting anything.
I'll never do that, ever.
I mean, the other one that bothers me, but I still do it, but I do it in my head. I don't actually repost it. They have like 30 fucking questions to see what you've done in life and what you haven't done in life.
Yeah,
ever ridden a bike? Ever ridden a motorcycle? Ever been in a hospital? I'm not reposting 30 fucking questions that you put up there to look like a jackass.
Yeah, well, not only that, and then you're also giving away half of your fucking answers for password resets and shit. So don't, you think those questions are at random?
Of course.
What's the name of your pet? What's your house address? What's the name of the first street you lived on? Those are all things that people use.
But back to the addiction,
Yes.
It's just my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I think that people are so reliant on excuses.
Well, I agree. I don't think you're wrong.
Your life. Dude.
I want to be clear here. I don't think you're wrong, but I think you're boxed in a little bit. I think there's more scenarios than yours to look at. I fall closer to yours. When I want to do something, I look at all the fucking businesses and shit that I've done.
Right.
Dude, everybody and their brother told me I couldn't do all that shit. And I just and did it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it constantly anyway. I don't listen to anybody. But that's because I've got a toughness, same as you do. We got a toughness to do things a certain way. But I know enough people that don't have that toughness where their situation is different and their reactions to things are different. I just don't think we could put everybody in the same box and say, knock it off, put down the crack pipe. I don't think it's quite that easy. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying I disagree with that. I think I do, agree to an extent. But I get tired of just the excuses I shouldn't even say excuses. I get tired of the, oh my God, I have this disease that's keeping me from being sober. I have this disease that's keeping me from doing this. No, you have a problem with your brain that you need to just work out in your head and stop doing it.
Yeah. Dude, there's a famous quote from Steven Tyler, the famous philosopher, also the singer of Aerosmith,
Yeah.
And somebody asked him in an interview, they had pictures of him at a party, and he was at this big party, it's like a wedding or something, and everybody was eating cake except Steven Tyler. And they asked him, they said, how come you didn't eat any of the cake at this party? And Steven Tyler said, if I eat one, I'm never going to stop eating this cake. And I like what I am without the cake. Now that's toughness. That's toughness. To be at a wedding and not eat a piece of cake. That's a mental toughness to say, you know what? And what is Steven Tyler weighed at his heaviest? 150?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a little skinny man. And he's still, at 79 years old or whatever he is, will not eat a piece of cake. That is mental toughness. That is a mental toughness I do not have. I'm pretty sure you don't have that mental toughness either. Everybody has a different level. And yet at the same time, who was a bigger stoner and drug addict than Steven Tyler? No one.
Yeah, well, I agree.
He can avoid cake for 75 years, but man, you put a line of blow in front of him and he's on it.
Victimization.
Yeah, it's true.
And look, I'm trying at least to stop doing some of the things that I was doing.
Sure.
I'm always honest about stuff. I have Oreo Thins downstairs. Thins. Now, you're talking to the same guy, though, that would have sat there and would have eaten a bag on his own of double stuffed Oreos.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd pull the tops off to make them quadruple stuffed Oreos. I mean, if I could make a stack of 9 of them,
right? If you could fit it in your mouth, you would.
With that cream and. But anyways, so I've stopped with that though, and then I give myself a snack of a couple of those Oreo Thins.
Sure.
Not as much in it, but it makes me at least, I guess, get rid of some of that craving of whatever that it is.
Pacifies you.
It does. And again, I don't eat those candy bars anymore like I used to. I have a popsicle. When we go to get ice cream on the weekends, because I love ice cream, dude. Look, I can't give up everything I fucking love in life.
You can't.
But I'm trying to curb those things.
Sure.
So when we go get ice cream, we go somewhere that has frozen yogurt, and a lot of they have like a sugar-free option, and so I'll get that, and I don't put shit all over it like I used to. I mean, I'm doing different things to try to. Am I perfect? Of course not.
No, of course not.
But am I doing things to attempt to stop that insanity in my head of saying, that this stuff is going to kill you, so stop doing it?
Yeah, but you know what the other word for that insanity in your head is? Addiction.
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
My point is that I gave up the cigarettes. I stopped drinking. I stopped doing drugs when I was younger. I've stopped doing all these other things that were addictive and things that I knew that I needed to stop because it's going to hurt me. So I stopped doing all that. Now I'm working on another one.
No, I get it.
More people need to do that.
I agree.
Moderation is key. There you go.
See, and I couldn't disagree more with that.
Why?
I can't moderate. I can't do it. Dude, yesterday, I have been kicking ass, and you said it to me, and a bunch of other people have said it to me in the last couple of weeks, that I look like I've lost a good amount of weight, which I have.
Yeah.
I've lost roughly 30 pounds, roughly.
Heather and I talked about it on the way home from Pinball PA.
Yeah. I got a way more to go. I'm by no means almost there. But it's a good first step on this marathon, right? And I've really been working hard. I do yoga every morning. Every other day I'm doing weights. I'm trying to integrate, as dumb as this sounds, the most muscle fitness you can do is squats. I don't know if you're aware. And I'm sure for you that's like an impossibility, but
well, I can still do that kind of
can
stuff.
You do squats?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I guess you could, sitting up and down on a chair and stuff. They say if you do that every day, that works every muscle in your body more than like an hour's worth of a workout would do. So I've been working that I've really been working at it.
Yeah.
So what happened yesterday? Me and my son order pizza and I eat 4 fucking slices of it.
Well,
And could I have tried to moderate the 2? Sure. But my brain wasn't letting me. My brain was like, fuck yeah, pizza. And I went wild.
I don't know, 4 pieces of pizza. How big was the piece?
It was a big pizza. It was like half a pizza. Half of a medium pizza.
Wow. No. I mean,
It's a medium pizza. It was half of it.
I understand what you're saying.
I mean, my friends that are not fatsos would not eat those 4 pieces of pizza. They would eat 1, maybe 2.
Is that normal for you to eat 4 pieces of pizza, or could you eat the entire thing before?
I could eat dude. I could eat. They could have brought me 3 more full ones. I could have eaten them.
So 4 pieces of pizza is actually in a step in the right direction for you.
No, dude, I get that, but at the same time, there was no doubt in my mind when I was eating piece number 3. I was like, "What are you fucking doing, fatty? You're working so hard, and this is what you're doing." And I stuffed it in my face anyway.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I'm not saying that addiction isn't tough. What I'm saying is that you have to work on it, and I don't think that it's necessary to call it a disease.
Well, I didn't take it to Facebook either and go, "You know what, everybody? I only ate 2 pieces of pizza today." I'm not doing that either to get some cheap pop. Way to go, man. That's lame.
Oh, man. Well, hell of a topic that we got on after
Yeah, we did. That's good.
Carole. But go to that event. People should go check that out.
They should definitely. One more time. It's Rock of Faith, Sunday, June 9th, over at the Supper Club, Music Box Supper Club. Go over there. The music's pretty good, too. Do you want to hear some of the music?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up here real quick. Because the music sounds pretty good. I mean, they don't stink. Let's... All right, I'm not gonna lie. I find it a little weird that a place for addiction would cover an Alice in Chains song, but
the exact same thing.
That's a little weird. But whatever, sounded good.
It did sound good. I was like, wait a second. I'm pretty sure that this, even the song, probably has to do with
Yeah, well, that's what maybe that's why they're doing it. Maybe that's part of the story that she tells, is about somebody that got down in the emotional hole or something, and then they sing that song.
No, well, I mean, that sounded good. Yeah, I think it'll be fun on Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's a good event. Everybody should go down there on Sunday, 6:30.
Had a good time.
Yeah, see? Yeah, interesting choice, I guess.
Well, yeah, it could be part of the story.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. All I know is
one time you had pizza one time, you didn't do it all week. So,
Yeah, well, and again, I'm not trying to say, oh my God, my life is. I'm not an alcoholic that's gonna say, oh my God, I ate too much pizza. I gotta start all over. I gotta go to Pizza Anonymous and get a new chip. I'm not that guy either. That's ridiculous. But
look, the sad part is that people that you probably know that you don't know have like a serious addiction problem of some sort. I mean,
oh yeah,
people are really good at hiding stuff.
Of course, and even some aren't. Dude, some are not. Some don't hide it. but you just don't see it that often. When they do pop out with it, you're like, holy shit. How does this guy that I think I know, this guy when the circumstances changed?
I always tell my wife, you never know what goes on behind closed doors, man. Mm-hmm. Some of the happiest marriages, some of the happiest looking people are some of the most miserable fucks of all time.
Most of them. Dude, I say that all the time to people. People all the time ask me about getting married again. And Landau asked me about it last week. And I'm just like, hell no, there's no chance of that. And it's because, and I say this to people all the time, the happiest marriage I ever see, puts up with more bullshit in a week than I do in a year. And that's truth. Yeah, that's your marriage. That's Wardlaw. That's anybody I think that has a great marriage. You guys still put up with way more shit than I would put up with in a year.
Come on, Wardlaw's got to be the happiest guy on the face of the planet, man. Yeah, just like me. And we married way outside of our league, so that's.
I've heard stories from him too, which I will not share on the air. Other than I've definitely heard some. Hey, don't you might not want to mention that on your show or on Facebook or what. I've definitely gotten that email from Matt. Hey, don't tag me in this post or that post.
I seriously want to get that guy on the show.
We got to get him on.
I haven't talked to him in a long time, and he's like successful as hell. And
yeah, he's doing great. His wife's doing great too. We ought to have her on. His wife is like a famous author. And your daughter would be thrilled if we had her on about her latest book. She wrote a Taylor Swift book.
Yeah, I know. And we got to get Billy on soon too when this thing opens up.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's another guy that lives a different life on Facebook than real.
Yeah, I'd rather have his wife on the air too.
Oh, we could have, dude. I could reach out to Leah and have. She'd probably love to come on and talk about her new pool.
She does more work than that guy's done in 30 years.
He's a rock star.
Yeah.
You want to have Leah on? I would love to have Leah on to talk about her. We'll give her a free plug. Liquid Lifestyles. I love it.
Driven up and down Route 82 where it's supposed to be, and I have yet to see where it's at. So I got to talk to her, have her on the air, and find out where that place is.
Yeah, we could do that.
Kids that are going into swimming or whatever, this place is like freaking amazing.
Oh, well, she just opened a second location.
Yeah.
Like she's like self-made zillionaire, or becoming one quickly. She rocks too. She's awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to text Tony to find out like when he's coming on because he's supposed to.
Leah's way more awesome than Billy. I'll say that.
All right, yeah. I mean,
well, you want me to play a commercial and we'll figure this out?
Well, I want to play his commercial if he's coming on. Otherwise, I'm not going to do anything. Yeah,
where is he?
Let's sell some shit.
All right, let's do that. Let's sell some merch. Here we go.
Are you looking for a way to support the Seth Williams Show? Get your Seth Williams Show merchandise today. From coffee mugs to clothing and everything in between, our high-quality merch is the perfect way for you to not only support the show, but show everyone what is the greatest show going today. Just go to shop.thesethwilliamsshow.com now, shop around, and buy some great merchandise from the Seth Williams Show. Shop today.
There's plenty of places to experience the Seth Williams Show, but if you want all the content, you need to join us on Minds. Get all the live episodes of the show every Monday and Wednesday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Get the special bonus footage every Wednesday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. Get bonus content from Seth and Chris as it's produced. It's only $4.99 per month, so don't wait. Sign up today. Visit us at www.minds.com/Seth Williams Show.
Assured Window Cleaning specializes in window cleaning, chandelier cleaning, blind cleaning, gutter cleaning, and post-construction cleaning. In business since 1947, Assured Window Cleaning has proudly been serving its customers in Cleveland for 75 years. As a family-owned and operated business, Assured Window Cleaning has built their reputation on trust and delivering the best results possible. When you need window cleaning services for your home or business, contact Assured Window Cleaning. We're one of the top window cleaning companies in all of Cleveland for both residential and commercial. Visit our website today at www.assuredwindowcleaning.com or call us at 440-989-0122 for a quote. And remember, everybody knows Tony. Contact Assured Window Cleaning today.
Back here on the show with myself and Chris Aiken.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
real quick, before we get to Tony, I wanted to put up this text real quick.
Okay.
Marriage is unnecessary drama. I want my peace, quiet, and freedom. But,
Amen.
okay, I'm not going to disagree. that sounds all well and good. But you know what I love the most about being married and like having my wife is that, like, when we go somewhere, whether it's on vacation or whether it's to a restaurant or whatever, I enjoy seeing her happy. I enjoy seeing her reactions. I enjoy doing things together. I mean, that's what I love about my wife and I love about marriage is that I think that's part of the fun of it. And so I'm sure that it's nice to be able to crank one out, be alone, and Die Hard or whatever you want to watch. But it is nice to enjoy life with somebody. That's just my opinion.
Just get hookers.
There you go. All right, and then on that note, Tony Musachio joins us. How are you, Tony?
I love you guys. You never know what you two are going to say before I get on. How are you, gentlemen?
What's up, Tony?
I feel like I'm on vacation right here, Seth. Chris, I am at Walden Inn, which I belong to the country club here, and it's Wednesday night burger night. So you get a burger, and then you go through the line, and you can put on whatever you want, from jalapenos to lettuce to tomatoes. I know you don't like your tomatoes, Seth. Pickles, mayonnaise, ketchup, you name it. It's a whole table to fixings for your hamburgers.
So is it a la carte? Like, do you make your burger, or do they make it? You just tell them what you want.
They make the burger comes in with the bun, and then you just go to the table and
okay.
You know what? Let me do this right now, guys. I'm gonna walk you to the table. It's really cool. So anyways, my daughter got married over the weekend. I'm going to talk about that in 1 minute as soon as I show you this really cool table here. Guys, I'm going to have to take you on a Wednesday night here. So, is this cool?
Oh, yeah.
Bacon.
Nice.
Onions, mushrooms, cheese.
Oh, this rules.
Oh, my God. Is that wonderful? How cool is that?
That is cool. I like that.
So then it's only like, I don't know, $12 for the burger, and you can go up and get whatever you want. It's really cool.
What are you shooting today?
I'm sorry?
How are you shooting today?
I shot an 80 today. I almost broke a 79 in golf, that is unbelievable for me.
9 holes?
I played at Fox then, and I shot an 80 about 3 weeks ago, and today I still have not broken a 79. I gotta break an 80, but it was fun. So,
that's great.
Anyways, my daughter got married Saturday, so it was as I've talked about this before, my son-in-law is a Jewish doctor, which is absolutely wonderful.
Sure.
So when I was first introduced to my son-in-law, which I wasn't even introduced to him yet, my daughter said, Dad, I met this wonderful man. He has a great personality. He is intelligent. He's kind. He's handsome. And I had just asked one question. I said, Kelsey, for those of her friends who know her dating habit, I said, Kelsey, just one question. Does he have a job?
Sounds like he's got a good one, though. Does he got a good one, Tony?
Child psychiatrist, yeah. So she's replied and said, Dad, he has a house in Columbus. He has a car, brand new vehicle. He's a ground season ticket holder, 10 rows from the field. And he's a doctor. And I looked up in the sky with the microphone and I said, thank you, God.
So did your daughter move to Columbus?
Yeah, she's been in Columbus for a few years.
Okay.
And,
what part of Columbus? I have family down there.
You know what? Oh my God. Du Bois?
Dublin?
Dublin. Yes, Dublin. You know, I am
nice
not
area.
familiar with it. All I do is I put the GPS on and I get there.
Right.
And Columbus is beautiful. What a great town it is.
Yeah, it's great down there.
Except the traffic is hell.
Yeah.
But then again, there's a lot of people there, which is
So
nice.
to be clear, in the winter, they drive up from Columbus on Sundays for football games?
They do, yes.
Wow. That's a fan.
Yeah, it is a fan. And of course, you know, they're drinking the whole day. They'll get a hotel that night. How they did it was his father's father had season tickets. So he got them. And again, 10 rows is...
That's great.
Yeah, it's a good deal. So, gentlemen, I'm not going to talk about a restaurant tonight because obviously I'm at Walden. Although...
Right on.
Next week, I'm going to be at Alley Cat, which is one of my favorite seafood places, which is on the lake. It's right on the river where the old Dupuis used to be, where Seth used to work at. No, that was Hooters, right?
Yes.
Right.
Seth worked at Hooters. You know what? That's why his mind is crazy today.
You have no idea. No.
And it was a Heather. Was there a Heather that you found then when you were working? Was it the first Heather?
No, first Heather was also in radio, so that's why
Oh, wow.
I'm crazy too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tony, let me ask you this. I've been meaning to ask you this for a couple of weeks. And this is, I'm asking you this because you know all of the restaurant owners locally. Forgetting the sports element of it, what is the restaurant owners' take on the Browns potentially moving to Brookpark? Are they worried about that? Like that really hurting their business, or what is their thought?
I mean, downtown, you got to look at like Luca, which, I mean, that's Sunday. They're open Sundays just for that game, before and after. Majorca, they're open just for that game. The Cleveland Chop House, they have a buffet in the morning. Think about the dollars that's going to be lost there. And you know what? Here's the problem. What do they have? What's the venue that's going to take that over when the Browns go to Brook Park? There's no need for them to go downtown. Now they're going to be able to do everything right in Brook Park, and they'll have their own, tailgating right where the game is. That's going to be a tough one. There's no question, Chris. It's a great question.
What sucks though, it's you got to blame the city of Cleveland. You can't blame the Browns on this one.
No. You know what? And again, it's another thing that we screwed up. You go to Pittsburgh, you go to Chicago, you go anywhere that has water, and we've ruined the city. We ruined it from having the airport there, having a large stadium which shouldn't be there, and it's taking up all that space.
Right.
It's sad. You know what?
Do you think, and I'm spitballing, I've heard nothing about this. This is just throwing it out there. Do you think the city of Brookpark, in the spirit of trying to encourage business for their city, might reach out to an organization like Majorca and help them move to Brookpark?
You know what? That's a shot in the sky. They probably could, but that's an expense to do that, to move a restaurant. And and where are you going to move to? Plus, you have plus what will happen is they're going to open up a stadium, and he's going to have restaurants throughout that whole area. Which, maybe he can talk to them first and say, "Listen, we don't want to, cut off your nose to spite your face. What can we do to help you out?"
Right.
It would be a great idea. Guess what? If somebody had the money and the capital to do that and invest in it, I would say yes, that we should do it.
It would just be nice to see those that have supported the team, for the 30 years or whatever since it came back, not be the first one screwed over because there's more money to make in another, 10 miles down the road.
Sure. Yep, absolutely. Chris, I don't know. We will see. Again, he's going to have his own little Disney park around that stadium when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But see, Tony, the answer is easy for the city of Cleveland. If they would actually wise up, do what they were supposed to do from the very beginning, and put something on the damn lake, put something around the rock hall that would be worth a shit, like a hotel or anything like that. If the city was smart and actually did something, it wouldn't matter if the Browns were down there 8 times a year.
And now what do you do with the stadium? What are you going to do with that facility? That's the crazy part. So, guys, we will see. Stay tuned, as they say. So, real quick, on my daughter's wedding, during my speech, so she had a Jewish wedding where they break the glass. And the breaking the glass means the beginning of a new marriage. It also means good luck. So I told my son-in-law, I said, now that you broke this glass and you are married, this is the last time you're putting your foot down.
Nice.
Thanks, Tone.
So, guys, I will talk to you next week. And you know what else is broken at a marriage, a wedding? Jewish.
What's that?
The parents' bank account. Bye. See you guys. Love you.
See you, Tony.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Tony, yeah, he's dead on that.
Best form of birth control, as they say. Wedding cake.
Yeah, that's true.
Tony.
Well, this has been a spirited show, dude.
Yeah, it was fun.
We got a lot done.
And now it's time for
Mine's time.
Mine's time.
That's right.
If you are not a subscriber yet, do so. Go to minds.com right now and look up the Seth Williams Show. Sign up, $4.99 a month, or make it easy and just buy for the year, so that way we can actually get some money and afford to buy something.
Are we gonna swear here in a little bit? I've done everything I could not to swear today.
I didn't really. I followed it the first half of the show, but not the second half.
I don't think I've sworn today. I really don't think I have.
But I'm being serious. I talked about, like, I have pills that are literally $357 for one prescription. I got a new pill that I'm going to be taking that I need to buy. I got this sensor that they want me to buy to stick on my arm. It's like $75 a month that I get a phone over. So, buy some fucking shit on the SethWilliamsShow.com.
Yeah, buy a coffee cup.
Fucking show. Just buy a mug and throw it at the wall.
That's right. Throw it at your computer.
Jewish wedding and step on it.
There you go. All right, let's get over to Minds and give those people
everybody.
something.
God willing, we'll talk to you on Monday. If you don't join us on Minds, we will talk to you next week. Have a great weekend. We'll see you.
See ya.